Okay, Tom, we've just finished the PG&PS quarterly meeting. What part of the meeting did you enjoy the most?
Maybe not a specific part, but the coming together of people from such a diverse division that is PG&PS, and really taking the time to sit down and share ideas and share stories in a different format. So, for example, last night when we sat out on the lawn and talked about leadership and talked about how people's behaviours are being driven through the Inquiry Works programme, it's really good to just hear the stories and see the people behind the stories.
Great. And from the topics and discussions we had in the quarterly meeting, is there anything you could take out of that and apply back in your day job?
I think the words coaching were used a lot, and I see myself in a sort of coaching role. But it's interesting to hear that lots of other people, see themselves as coaches and mentors too. So I think I need to make it more apparent to my stakeholders that I'm available for that coaching around things like communication, collaboration, but also thinking differently about how they maybe run their meetings or how they may engage their teams. So yeah, it's the sort of I'm thinking a lot about the coaching side of things.
What part of the meeting did you enjoy the most?
I think it was all beneficial for me personally, seeing the group interact. The style is very much one of wanting to learn and to help each other. So it's not about somebody delivering information and then the group of us taking that in. It's very much more open and coaching in style. I think I particularly enjoyed last night's opportunity to look at another way of framing conversations, framing and debating and advocating in conversations, and recognising what I felt that did with the group is that it slowed us down, because we actually had to think which bit of the segments we were going to come from, and actually the slowing down in itself helped, I think, the quality of the conversation, only because I, for instance, had to think, what am I now doing? So am I framing something? Am I advocating something? Am I illustrating something? And when I saw that happen in the group, I felt that people were genuinely thinking before they spoke. I struggle with that. I'm sure the others don't, but I struggle with that. I just say something, but actually, because I was given a target to describe what I was going to say before I said it, then that helped me. So that was useful.
Brilliant. And was there anything in the meeting that you think you could take away and apply in the day job when you go back?
Definitely what I've just said. I think that's useful. Quite whether I'll deliver it as a tool or whether or not it will be just something I'm thinking about as I talk. I think the other thing, we were challenged at the end, or maybe we were challenging each other at the end, about how we could deliver some of this style into our own areas, and I was just kind of thinking even meeting rooms and quantities of people and how we arrange ourselves, and recognising that actually there's an opportunity to do this maybe every day. Yeah. And within the half dozen meetings that we run every day, maybe one of them should look a bit more like this.
Never ever find the right word.
Richard, we've just wrapped up the quarterly meeting for PG&PS. What was your favourite part of the meeting?
It was a great opportunity for me over the last couple of days to introduce people to the innovation manager role, and I'm innovation manager within PSPG, and it was a great opportunity to raise the awareness for that and try and drive this initiative to improve innovation within Siemens.
Great. And what happened in the meeting that you think you could maybe take out and apply in the kind of day-to-day activities that you do?
Well, another part of the meeting that we discussed was to do with leadership, and there's some good learning points there, how we can learn from each other and reflect on some things we already maybe know about ourselves, but it's just a good chance to reflect on those and take those back into our daily work.
Yeah, what part of the meeting did you enjoy the most or find the most interesting?
So yes, we had an excellent 1.5 days, but the part that was definitely most fascinating for me was when the participants from some of the businesses came to tell us the progress of their inquiry works activities. For instance, the two guys from Gwynty Moore, Jonathan and Nick, came to tell us about what their experiences were with the inquiry works methodology, and also what kind of good benefits and outputs they already have gained in a relatively short time. It was for me striking to see the parallels between the activities that have already taken place in Lincoln, and then also Ken Anderson with the EHS team, more or less using the same activities or the same approach, and what kind of parallels there are between these three activities. So it was really a powerful session.
Great. And just to finish up, is there anything that we did in the last day and a half that you think you could maybe take back and try with your team?
We had a good discussion on how we can spark the fires and light the fires in our own little environments, and I think the big desire and the wish of all of us, and I think we are now getting very passionate about this, is how can we ensure that in different parts of the business this really is creating this big bushfire, so to say. So that is what I would like to now also take, what we already have started in our HR team as well, to work on quality conversations, on giving each other feedback. So I think we really are contributing a lot to this great work.
What part of the meeting did you find the most interesting or enjoyable?
Yeah, so I think, David, the participation in the meeting last night and today, I really enjoyed. You know, I think it's difficult to point to one particular part of it. Being involved within this group, the work that we've been doing as a group at Gwynty Moore, to then to come and sit as part of another group, talking the same language, the same sort of principles and techniques. I think it was really interesting to hear a different perspective on some of the sort of same challenges that we all face.
And in terms of the content of the meeting for the last day and a half, is there anything that we did during the meeting that you think you could take back to Gwynty Moore and apply in the day job?
Yeah, I think what's important is the discipline, the time, and the space that we've already started to create for this. We need to continue that. I'd like to take up Matthew on his offer to come to Gwynty Moore and to get involved in some of our conversations that we're having on site. And you know, kind of leverage the contacts I'm making in a wider group now for the good of it.
It's alright. I'm just going with the gut. Never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now. We know I ain't ballin' yet. Hoes wanna holler, oh no, I don't call them back. Girl, let me see you hold it down, we gon' have a blast. Cause I just wanna know what you gonna do with all of that. Ain't gotta say a word, I know what's up. You can have it all, watch me rip it off. I'll admit it, you got me feeling hella loved. Even when it's going down, know that we gon' live it up. Young shot caller, always been a baller. Know that you the one, I can feel it